So yesterday, the Washington Commanders schedule was released, and I cannot believe the NFL did it to us again. Let's talk about it.
How I feel? Relax. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move it.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Juan Gotti. We're here to go over the schedule. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. On the road to 7,000 subscribers. When I get to 7K, I'm giving away 5 Jaden Daniel jerseys. So please help me get there. Let's get it. All right. First things first. Thing that I jumped off the page first was the Washington Commanders having yet another late bye week. For the third year in a row, the Washington Commanders have a late bye, and for the second week in a year in a row, the Washington Commanders have a week 14 bye. I cannot begin to tell you how frustrating these late season byes are. I remember a couple years ago, I would be like, man, you know what? I'm fine with having a late season bye week. It doesn't really bother me. But now, after seeing how things transpire through those late round byes or late bye weeks, it puts you in a position to where you don't even have time to really like heal up, in a sense. Like, by the time week 14 comes, you already played your whole season for real. So it ain't like your bye week is week 7, 8, 9, where it's like, oh, you played the first half, let's go on bye week and get healed up. You already played majority of your season, so even if you have nicks, bruises, and injuries, it ain't really no point, because you either gonna be in the thick of things or you gonna be out of things by the time we get to week 14. And right now, if week 14 comes and you in the middle of a playoff chase, that hurts you, honestly, more than it helps you, because you need to be playing. Honestly, that 1 week off is gonna be brutal, depending on where, if you are in a playoff chase. Let's say you had trying to get that 6th, 7th seed and you on a bye week, and it's a team that's ahead of you and they playing that week and they win, so essentially they probably 2 games ahead of you now, you know what I'm saying? So it just depends how the season plays out, but I don't really like those late round buys. Your players are already banged up. I keep saying late season buys. Your players are already banged up, but it is what it is. Next thing, the Bucks. We played on week 1. Jaden Daniels debut. Cool. Baker Mayfield. That could be a really good game. Then you got the Giants, who we absolutely owe them one. Like, we have no choice but to sweep them this year, and we need to badly beat them. For whatever reason, we always say year in and year out, the Giants is a team that we should beat and should win, but every time we play them, we find ways to lose in laughable fashions. Next, you got Monday night, one of our 2 primetime games. Monday night versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am for this matchup, but yet nervous. Like, I'm excited because we have a real primetime game. Like, last year we had Thursday Night Football. You got to buy to watch that. So, yes, it's primetime, but not everybody got Amazon Prime. Then you got Thanksgiving versus Dallas. Yeah, that's nationally televised, but this is a technically Monday night primetime game. Now, I'm nervous because it's the Bengals, and I know how good they are when healthy. However, I like just to see us on primetime football. Jaden Daniels, LSU Heisman Trophy winner, versus Cincinnati, Joe Burrow Heisman Trophy winner. It's gonna be tough, and we most likely are probably gonna lose that game. But it'll be fun, you know what I'm saying, to see where we match up and how far we have yet to go. Now, I would prefer this game, if you want me to say, like, Washington have a better chance to win, is later in the season. Maybe by that time the Bengals are banged up. Maybe by that time Joe Burrow is crippled by that time. But nah, we got him right in the beginning stages of the season, where he's probably going to be coming off of 2 weeks of straight, balling outness. Right, they played Kansas City the week prior to playing us, so I'm pretty sure that'll be a shootout. Then you go out to the desert to play Arizona. Last year, Arizona was highly competitive. I remember week 1, I thought it was going to be a pushover, but nah, they came out swinging that defense. Jonathan Gannon's unit was really, really good, and they were competitive last season, despite getting Kyler Murray back. later in the year. They should have beat the Giants. They could have very well beat us. They beat Philly and Dallas, so they could have swept the NFC East last year. And they were in games in contest with Josh Dobbs, and then when they got Kyler Murray back, then they started to be even more competitive. So there, if healthy, the Cardinals can be sneaky good, and that's gonna be a tough game for us too. But Cliff Kingsbury knows Kyler Murray like the back of his hand, so if there's anybody that I can kind of trust with us potentially winning this game, it is Cliff Kingsbury. Next up, you got the Browns. We owe them one too. We definitely owe them one after what they did to us at FedEx Field. Carson Wentz just freaking pooping on himself. Ron Rivera not knowing if we could be eliminated. Deshaun Watson beating us, and he was just coming back and hasn't went up to that point. It was crazy. Then you got Baltimore. You got to go down the road about 45 minutes to go see, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Go be on the avenue, right? You got to go down there about 45 minutes. So I actually want to go to that game. It's always a good time when we play them in Baltimore. We always find a way to win in Baltimore. At FedEx Field, nah. But M&T, we won 2016, 2012. That was actually in Washington where we won. Was it in Washington? Yeah, I think it was in Washington where we won. Kirk Cousins came in, led us back. So I'm excited to play the Ravens. 2020, they dogged us. And, we play them every 4 years. So this can be another game where it's another measuring stick. I don't think we'll win, but Jaden Daniels' idol is Lamar Jackson. And a lot of people compare them to as far as similar play styles. So maybe that could be a shootout or something like that. But at this point, I think Baltimore probably is going to beat us. And moving on, we have the Carolina Panthers. Looking like a very winnable game. Should be a very winnable game at this point. But again, Carolina's thinking the same way about us as we are thinking about them. Then you got Chicago. I'm kind of actually upset that this is not prime time. This should be prime time. You got the first overall draft pick in Caleb Williams coming back to Washington, D.C., where he's from. Then you got Jaden Daniels, the number 2 overall pick. 1 versus 2. This should have been prime time. And maybe he'll get flexed to it, but it should be prime time in my opinion. Especially if both teams are good, then this game could get flexed to prime time. But it should have already been. And you got the Giants for the second time. Should sweep them. Like, we owe them one. Then you got Pittsburgh. This is going to be a game where it most likely is going to be a brutal one. We're probably going to get beat up. It's always like that when we play Pittsburgh. So it's probably going to be a winnable game considering the fact that their quarterback position absolutely blows. Maybe Russell Wilson figures it out there. Maybe he's good. Or maybe it's Justin Fields. I don't know. But we could have an opportunity to win that game, but that's another one where I'm like, oh, that defense probably going to cause us, hell, especially if TJ Watt is healthy. Then you got your second primetime game. You got the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football. That is going to be a good game, too, to watch, and I'm excited for that matchup. As always, it's a good time to play Philly. We really should have beat them twice last year. I know woulda, shoulda, couldas, you know what I'm saying, or ifs. But we very well had those guys beat last year. And hopefully we can get it done this time. And then after that, you got Dallas, your first matchup. So you got two back-to-back division games where you got to play Dallas. We owe them 1-2. And then you got Tennessee. You got Tennessee with Will Levis and them boys over there. Then your bye week. Finally, after 13 weeks of football, you finally got your bye week. And then after your bye week, you got the Saints down there in New Orleans. Then you got Philly again, and then you got Atlanta, Kirk Cousins, and then you got Dallas to close out the season. So it's a very, 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 very decent schedule. I think your hardest part really is that first, I would say 4 to 6, because that first, we got one on the road versus the Bucks. Then you got 2 on the road. That's a Cincy, and then you on the road at Arizona, and then you on the road again versus Baltimore, which isn't technically on the road, but you get what I'm saying. That's the first. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 out of your first 6 games, where you're on the road, man. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got one at home, 1 away, 1 home. I mean 2 back to back at away actually, and then 1 home. So your first 4 games: Bucks, Giants, Bengals, Cardinals. 2 out of 3 on the road. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? Or three out of your first 4s on the road. My fault. That's insane. But overall, it's not a murderer's row schedule, but it definitely is going to be challenging for the Washington Commanders. Maybe not so much because our quarterback is going to be good, hopefully. But that's just my first initial thoughts. The NFL really did it to us again and gave us a late round bye or a late bye week. And now we're going to have to find a way to navigate some victories because there are some on there. But there are also some games that are pretty tough. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comment section. As always, it's me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hails to the Washington Commanders. We want to roll to 7,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you come and reach that goal as soon as possible. Y'all have a blessed one, and don't forget, when I hit 7K, I'm giving away 5 J and Daniel jerseys. Y'all have a blessed one. Be easy. Stay safe. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a laundry.